fourth count is possession of firearm. And the last count, count 5, is possession of ammunition. The particulars of the accused have already been put on record. As far as count 1 is concerned, the state will aver that on the 26th of October 2014, at Procedural in this Coast District, the accused killed Mr. Senzo Meyiwa, a 30-year-old male, by shooting him with a firearm. Second count will be that on the same date and place, the accused attempted to kill Ms. Zandile Lorraine Kumalo, an adult female, by shooting her with a firearm. Count 3 will be that on the same date, place, the accused robbed Ms. Kelly Kumalo of a Samsung cellular phone. Aggravating circumstances being present in that the firearm was used. Count 4 will be that on the same date and place, the accused were in possession of a 9mm Parabellum C7 model 775 pistol with an obliterated serial number without being in possession of a license to possess the said firearm. And count 5 is that on the same date and place, they were in possession of an unknown quantity of non-parabellum caliber ammunition. Your Worship, the state is going to allege the following facts: that the deceased, Mr. Senzo Meyiwa, was born on the 24th of January 1984 and was a well-known professional footballer who played as a goalkeeper for Orlando Pirates in the Premier Soccer League and for the South African national team, Bafana Bafana. That he was in a love relationship with an equally famed artist, Mrs. Kelly Kumalo, and they had a child born out of that relationship. That on the evening of the 26th of October 2014, Mr. Senzo Meyiwa had visited Ms. Kelly Kumalo at her mother's house in Procedural. That there were several other persons in the said house, namely Ms. Gladness Kumalo, who is the owner of the house, Ms. Zandile Lorraine Kumalo, she's the sister to Kelly Kumalo, Mr. Longwe Twala, Mr. Timelo Madala, a friend of Mr. Senzo Meyiwa, and Mr. Mtokozizi Twala in the lounge/dining room area of the house. That at about 2000 hours, 2 persons burst into the house armed with a firearm and knife and demanded money and cell phones. That a scuffle ensued between Mr. Senzo Meyiwa and the person armed with a firearm, who was dreadlocked, had a gold slit on one of the tooth, and was wearing a khaki-colored jacket. A shot was discharged, and it ricocheted on the floor and struck Ms. Zandi Lorraine Kumalo in the right ankle, hence the charge of attempted murder. A second shot went off, and Mr. Meyiwa was then shot once in the chest whilst in a standing position, and the bullet went through his body. Well, first went through his chest, then his body, and exited at his back, and it hit the back of the door that Mr. Meyiwa was standing against. This was a contact shot. The state is going to aver that possibly 3 shots were discharged in total. The state is also going to aver that a cell phone was removed from Ms. Kelly Kumalo and the attackers then fled, dropping a head on the premises. Mr. Meyiwa was then transported to the nearby Butsilong Health Facility in Vosloorus, where he was declared dead on arrival at 21:15. A post-mortem was conducted on Mr. Meyiwa on the 28th of October 2014 by Dr. Johannes Steenekamp, and the cause of death is given as consistent with bullet wounds on the chest involving the heart and lung. The state will also aver that the spent bullet fragment and one spent 9mm caliber bullet were subsequently found in the house. And lastly, the state will aver that the accused were acting in the furtherance of a common purpose.
Thank you. Has a copy been supplied to the interpreter for her assistance?
Indeed, Your Worship.
Thank you, Ms. Mashova.
Thank you, njengoba nginesenzelo ukuthi ke nalana phambi komthetho amaphepha-ke andibizela ukuthi ngiyovela enkantolo High Court, eSouth Gauteng High Court. Ngiy'ntolo ezilandelayo-ke iy'ntolo ezokubulala, ezokuzama ukubulala, ezokuphanga Mhlomile, ezokuphatha isibhamu semthethweni, ezokuphatha-ke inkambu-ke ngokungekho semthethweni. Nokuthi-ke kuthiwa ngomhla ka-26 October 2014 eVosloorus Boksburg lapho khona-ke ngokomthetho nangenhloso niye nabulala umnumzane uSenzo Meyiwa. Iminyaka yakhe ngaleso sikhathi beyiwu-30 ngokundlubula. Iy'ntolo zesibini-ke ngomhla ka-26 October 2014 eVosloorus Boksburg ngaphandle komthetho nangenhloso niye nazama ukubulala uZandile Lorraine Khumalo, umuntu wesifazane, ngokumdubula ngesibhamu. Iy'ntolo zesithathu-ke ngomhla ka-26 October 2014 eVosloorus Boksburg ngaphandle komthetho nangenhloso-ke niye nahlasela umama uKelly Khumalo. Lapho khona-ke niye namthathela-ke umakhalekhukhwini wakhe uSamsung S4. Lapho into eyenza ukuthi-ke ley'ntolo zibe nesimo ukuthi niye nasebenzisa isibhamu. Iy'ntolo zesine ngomhla ka-26 October 2014 eVosloorus Boksburg ngaphandle komthetho-ke nangenhloso-ke mina Dr. Bengiphethe isibhamu lapho khona ukhulunywa ngesibhamu ese-9mm parabellum C7 model 75 pistol. Lapho khona-ke i-serial number yakhona ibisuliwe, nibe ningenayo-ke igunya lokuthi ningasiphatha leso sibhamu semthethweni. Iy'ntolo zesihlanu ukuthi ngomhla ka-26 October 2014 eVosloorus Boksburg ngaphandle komthetho-ke nangenhloso beniphethe-ke isibalo esingaziwa eseyinhlamvu eze-9mm parabellum caliber. Lapho khona-ke beningenayo imvume ngokomthetho ukuthi ngingaphatha-ke lezo y'nhlamvu lezo-ke ebeke kunekonakala ukuthi zingangena-ke kunesibhamu ese-9mm nokuthi-ke kungahle kwenzeke ukuthi nidubule. Futhi-ke ngamafuphi-ke kuchazwa okulandelayo-ke ukuthi-ke abokusheshisa bona-ke bathi kwenzeke ngale ndlela ngalelanga nge-26 October 2014 ukuthi-ke umnumzana uSenzo Meyiwa okuyena sewashiye emhlabeni ukuthi wazalwa ngomhla ka-24 January 1984. Bekungumdlali webhola ayi-goalkeeper e-Orlando Pirates edlalela i-Premier Soccer League, nokuthi-ke futhi umdlali ayabambela futhi ngeBafana Bafana-ke ekuyicebo lesizwe, nokuthi-ke wayethandana nosaziwayo-ke owumculi owuMiss Kelly Khumalo, futhi banengane-ke kulohlobo babo noma ubudlelwano babo. Ngalobo busuku be-26 October 2014 umnumzane uSenzo Meyiwa bekavakashele uKelly Khumalo emzini kamawakhe oseVosloorus. Kuye ngafika bekunabantu-ke abambalwa-ke kulowo muzi kanye nomama uGladness Khumalo, umnikazi womuzi, umama kaZandi noKelly Khumalo. Kulo muzi bokunolongwethwana kunoNtumelo Madlala, umngane kaMnumzane Senzo Meyiwa, nomnumzane umthokozisa uthwala bebasedining room noma-ke i-lounge. Ngabo-8 ebusuku-ke kungena abantu ababili endlini baphethe isibhamu kanye nomese. Lapho khona-ke baye bafuna imali nama-cellphone. Kuke kasuka empi phakathi-ke komnumzane uSenzo Meyiwa kanye nalomlisa wayephethe isibhamu. Lapho khona-ke loyo-ke umlisa wayenama-threat futhi-ke enezinyo elebhodi. Bekafake ijakhethi ekhakhi. Lapho-ke kuye kadubulwa leyo nhlamvu yashaya phansi yaphinde yabuyela yashaya umama uZandile Khumalo ecaleni lakhe lasesandleni sokudla. Inhlamvu eyesibili-ke iye yashaya umnumzane uMeyiwa yaphinde futhi-ke yamshaya kudutshulwe kanye yamshaya esifubeni. Nokuthi-ke yaphuma ngasemuva yaphinde yashaya isicabha lesibika encinci ngakuso. Kwakuye futhi-ke inhlamvu leyo-ke yadutshulwa umuntu wakhona wayeseduze-ke kwakhe umnumzane uMeyiwa. Ngokuthi-ke ngokunjalo-ke kudutshulwe amahlandla amathathu. Kuye kathathwa-ke umakhalekhukhwini waka-Miss Kelly Khumalo. Labo bantu-ke bese-ke bayaphuma bayabaleka kwashiyeka isigqoko endaweni. Umnumzane Meyiwa uye wathathwa wesa esibhedlela esiseduze eButhilong esephosphorus. Lapho khona-ke ngo-9 ebusuku-ke kwase kushiwo ukuthi-ke akasekho emhlabeni. Udokotela uJohannes Spienekam nge-28 zika-October 2014 uye-ke owayenza i-postmortem kona-ke ukuhlola-ke umzimba kamufi umnumzane uSenzo Meyiwa. Lapho khona-ke kuye kasho-ke ukuthi inhlamvu-ke iye yangena esifubeni lapho khona iye yathinta-ke inhliziyo namaphaphu. Lapho khona-ke kuye katholakala-ke inhlamvu e-9mm caliber endlini. Nokuthi futhi-ke kuthiwa-ke abamangalelwe njengoba bame ngaphambi kwenkantolo-ke bebasebenza ngokuphathisonile.
Thank you, Ms. Mashada.
Your Worship, the state will aver that in light of the circumstances, the matter results under Schedule 6, and that in terms of Section 611, that the accused must be kept in custody until they show that exceptional circumstances exist for their being released on bail. And the state will then request that the matter be postponed at this stage for the service of the documents as mentioned in Section 144, a final indictment. I don't know whether the court allocated a date or...
Just before we get to that, accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5 who are unrepresented. You have now heard what the state is going to be alleging. The court must inform you that you are entitled to bring a formal bail application if you wish to do so. This is, as the state has already pointed out, a so-called Schedule 6 offence, which means that you will have to convince the court that there are exceptional circumstances as to why it is in the interest of justice for you to be released on bail.
Accused number 1, 3, 4, and 5, njengoba senizwile ukuthi-ke intolo-ke zokushishisa-ke ukuthi zithini njengoba-ke nginabo abamelini nelungelo lokuthi-ke nangingafaka isicelo se-break. Nikhumbuleke ukuthi kule ntolo lezi nibhekene nazo kusemandleni ukuthi nibonise inkantolo ukuthi-ke zikhona izimo ey'phoqayo ukuthi nidedele ngeke.
In order to convince the court, you will have to reduce evidence either by testifying yourself, handing in an affidavit, or by calling witnesses to testify on your behalf. But there must be formal evidence placed before the court can make a finding that it is in the interest of justice for you to be released on bail.
ukuthi ke nangiphele ubufakazi lobo ukuthi ke nina nithule ubufakazi ngobona noma ke nibhalise wona affidavit noma nibize abufakazi abazofakazela kodwa ke ngikhumbula ukuthi konke lokho ubufakazi kumele ubufake phansi.
Mr. Sabia, accused number 1, do you wish to bring a bail application?
Babu Sabia, accused number 1, ngithanda ukufaka isicelo sebheki. Your Worship, before I proceed to the question of bail, Your Worship, I would like to explain to the court that when I'm standing here before court as it is, Your Worship, what is it that is happening?
All right. I'm not going to allow you at this stage to hijack the proceedings. There are certain processes that needs to be followed. The court explained to you, firstly, your right with regards to legal representation. You indicated that you wished, or did not even answer. And the court now wishes to inquire from you whether you intend bringing a bail application. Do you wish to answer this question?
No, Your Worship, I will not be applying for bail.
Mr. Mjiaku, will your client be bringing a bail application?
Please, it's not at this stage, Your Worship, and we concur with we support the state's application for the matter to be postponed, upon which we will consult and consider.
Thank you. Accused number 3, Mr. Mnube, do you wish to bring a bail application?
Accused number 3, Mnube, my time to file a stolen survey. I am serving a sentence, Your Worship.
So will you not be applying for bail?
I may just file a stolen survey. No, Your Worship, if only it can be explained to me as to what is the reason that I am arrested. Because in this matter, various people, Your Worship, are being accused, Your Worship. They first went to Mpangeni, and then now they are coming to us, Your Worship, and pointing that we are the one who committed this matter.
As the court explained to you earlier, you can be quiet now. As the court explained to you earlier, I'm not going to deal with the merits of the matter today. That is for the trial court to decide. You will get your day in court where you can place your version of the facts before the court.
Njengoba inkantolo ichazelile ukuthi ke angeke sikwazi ukuthi singenelele odabeni inkantolo ezolalela icala ke ezosebenza ngaleli cala ukuthi kwenzakaleni nakwenzakalanga ini.
And if you say you do not know why you are here, the interpreter interpreted the charges as well as a summary of the facts on which the state is going to rely.
Njengoba ke wena uthi awazi ukuthi indaba ulana ke utoliwe wakutolikela ke insolo obhekene nazo nokuthi ke ngamafuphi ke nabo kushishise bathi bona banisola ngani.
Accused number 4, Mr. Mapisa, do you intend bringing a bail application?
Accused number 4, Mapisa, ungathanda ukufaka isicelo sebail. I am serving a sentence, Your Worship. I do not see the necessity of applying for a bail.
Mr. Ntuli, do you intend bringing a bail application?
Ntuli, ungathanda ukufaka isicelo sebail. Now we are parted. Okay. Your Worship, at the moment I do not see the need to proceed with bail application, Your Worship, because I'm also incarcerated, Your Worship. I have a pending case elsewhere. The other thing, Your Worship, the point that we would like to drive forward to the court is that what we are explaining to the court, we are explaining to something that happened to us, Your Worship.
What this will tell you is what is what we are
the gentleman, Your Worship, who's wearing glasses, Your Worship, first came to Kalarabusha, where I reside, and he first said that he was there to arrest Butelezi. Now the tables have turned, Your Worship. He is now pointing at us.
Right, how long will the state need in order to get the documentation ready and the service of the documents? Requesting for the 27th of November. Mr. Diaku, any objection against the requested postponement to that date?
We've got no objections.
Just one last aspect, the state has indicated that the accused were transported from various destinations. What is the request with regards to the detention of the accused?
Indeed, Your Worship, all the accused are currently in custody. The state will request that they all be postponed in custody. Case number 1 is currently held at another correctional facility. Detention warrant should be endorsed and should be held there. Case number 2 request to be postponed at the area police station in Pretoria.
With regards to police stations, I have not received any written confirmation from the station commissioner with regards to the conditions and the suitability of the area police station as a detention center, and at this stage we will not entertain such only correctional settings.
Investigating officer will attend to that.
When is the currently held?
There is no information that is currently held.
I will give you the opportunity to discuss the issue quickly with the investigating officer. In the absence of anything else, we will move the report and do you wish to speak to the investigating officer?
I'll speak to him. You can pick them then to send it to case number 3. He is currently held at the Wandsworth prison. Case number 4 is currently held at the prison.
Keep in mind that an attorney or an advocate can be able to assist you with the legal issues that you have and that you have voiced up until now.
Inkantolo-ke ithi yathanda-ke ukucebisa laba o-accused number 1, 3, 4 and 5 abengenabo umeli ukuthi-ke njengoba ngichazeliwe-ke ekuqaleni ngilungelo ukuthi ngingaba nomeli ne senizwile ukuthi yiziphi iy'nsolo-ke enibhekene nazo niyazi nesisindo sazo futhi-ke nikhumbule-ke ukuthi-ke okwamanje-ke aniphocelekile ukuthi ningaphendula ningahamba-ke nicabangisise kahle le ndaba ukuthi-ke mhlawumbe-ke nibone ukuthi mhlawumbe nikhona ukuthi-ke sikhona isidingo sokuthi nicele ummeli kahulumeni okumele ukuthi anisize ngalokho noma-ke ngingayitholela ummeli engingakhona ukuthi nimkhokhe ukuthi anisize ngalokho kule nsolo lezi-ke eniyobe nibhekene nazo.
Go think about it. The court will address the issue again on your next appearance.
Hambani-ke niyoyicabangisisa-ke inkantolo-ke izolidingida lolu daba-ke mase asikakacedi mase-ke nibuya futhi.
Just as there is a case number 2 should stand down and try and station position of the
Are you asking for a short term?
Yes. Yes. I was just wondering whether once we secure the documentation, whether it can send the chambers.
I need to inform the accused that I'm informed as to where he is going to be placed.
uzizwa njani njengoba bathi nibuyele manje ejele uzizwa njani?